Joshua Oppenheimer's Academy Award nominated documentary, The Act of Killing, was a truly unsettling, powerful, and unforgettable cinematic experience. In that film, we are basically put knee deep into the Indonesian genocide, shown from the perspective of the men who were involved in actually committing those atrocities. That film had the leaders of the Indonesian death squads reenacting their acts of killing in a cinematic fashion in any way they wanted to. And what was unearthed and what was exhibited was just powerful, shocking, appalling, unforgettable. Oppenheimer returns with his latest documentary, The Look of Silence, which is a excellent companion piece to The Act of Killing. Now, before I get into the meat of my review, I highly recommend seeing The Act of Killing prior to seeing The Look of Silence, mainly because having seen The Act of Killing, it really gives The Look of Silence a very substantial amount of context to what you are seeing, and I think it makes for an even more rewarding experience if you want to consider watching films about an unbelievable genocide rewarding. But these are two excellent films, especially The Act of Killing, which is essentially a masterpiece in documentary filmmaking. The Look of Silence gives us another perspective of the Indonesian genocide, whereas The Act of Killing focused on the men who did the deeds. The Look of Silence looks upon the victims. We are introduced to a man who, as we learn, his brother was killed, not just killed, murdered during the genocide. And Oppenheimer's camera follows him as he goes to meet people who were involved with and led the Indonesian death squad that was directly involved in the killing of his brother. It's very unsettling, very sobering, but while not having the gut-wrenching, gut-punching effect that The Act of Killing had, it's still just as relevant and powerful as one could expect considering the subject matter. There are just the way things unfold, just seeing this man who's essentially going eye to eye, face to face, and talking to these people who were involved in committing these atrocities, not just for the people, but just to people personally involved with him, and just seeing how they carry on very nonchalantly, reminiscing about how they killed these people. I mean, very similar, if you've seen The Act of Killing, you know how those guys acted and behaved. It was like appalling. And these people that they talked to was like just as horrible as you can imagine. And you just feel like exactly what the man feels when he's listening to these people recount their involvement in what they did. But just as this film is called The Look of Silence, there's greater impact in what we learn during the documentary about the silence that these men actually kept regarding their atrocities that they committed. You'd be surprised at how easy-flowing and how exuberant they are about talking about their deeds, but they actually, much to the viewer's surprise, and when you do see the film, that there are details that they kept to themselves. And there are many, many, many powerful moments where these revelations come to pass. But it's best that you're left as you watch the film itself. So I would give The Look of Silence a 9 out of 10. I gave The Act of Killing a 10 out of 10, one of the best films I've seen in many years. I would give this one a 9 out of 10. It is just as potent, as powerful as The Act of Killing, but while not as gut-wrenching or gut-punching as The Act of Killing. But as I mentioned, you definitely would benefit from seeing The Act of Killing first to give you some context, then come back and watch The Look of Silence. I'm not saying you want to watch them back to back unless you're a sadist and you really enjoy watching all this suffering and shocking, appalling activities by human beings, if you want to call them that. But Look of Silence is definitely another outstanding documentary worth checking out. Mind you, it's certainly not for all audiences, but it is a very rewarding experience to see and just blows you away, considering the depths of the human conscience and human morality. So, Act of Killing, fantastic film. The Look of Silence, another fantastic film. So definitely do yourself a favor. If you haven't seen either of these, be sure to check them both out. So, if you like my review, please hit the like button below. I add a trailer link for The Look of Silence in the description box. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do, so you can stay on top of my reviews as they come in. And have you seen The Look of Silence? Have you seen The Act of Killing? Are you interested in seeing The Look of Silence? Share your opinions in the comments below. And just remember, well, I really got nothing to say. Except, yeah, definitely see these two films. Until next time.